Welcome, guys. This is Mentality, hosted by myself, the Civilized Savage. This is the space where men talk and we listen. It's a space for real talk from real men for real growth. And today we have RVJ. Welcome,
Hello.
RVJ.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to Mentality in our space here.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being our guest. So I would typically introduce a guest, but I kind of feel like it's only natural for people to kind of share from their space who they are. So tell the people and the viewership, who is RVJ?
Hi everyone. I'm RVJ Wordplay when I perform, and I'm a poet. It's that simple. My poems reflect life. So yeah, and that's what I do.
Love that. All right, so I've met you from the poetic community, and you recently had an event called This Is Not an Event. Can you share with us a little bit about how that came about and why you felt that was an important event or non-event for you to put on?
So This Is Not an Event came about because I oftentimes sit and wonder or think about the fact that the things that we go through as men, the things that men go through,
yes,
it's constant. It's never ending. It's life. It's a part of our lives. But whenever that is addressed, it has to be an event. So a day in the year, a month in the year, something that is funded.
Yes.
It's never, or not a lot of spaces are naturally provided for us to dive deep into the things that affect us, and then more importantly, finding ways or solutions, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's how the idea came about, just thinking about that.
That's why we got Mentality, guys, because it's a continuous thing. So you see that little connect there, the little segue. So I love that. And I love the way you said that the things that men go through, it's not just a momentary thing, it's an everyday thing. So on that note, what do you think are some of the biggest things that are affecting men at the moment as kind of like things that impact them?
So it's an inability to naturally express ourselves. So we express ourselves, but it's only surface level.
Yes.
In terms of opening up, I think that's one of our biggest challenges. And the reason for that is we weren't taught how to do that. And society, on the flip side, those people on the receiving end don't know how to react to that. So should I go to someone, let's say for example, and I'm going through something really deep, and let's say throughout the conversation, I just suddenly start crying. There are a lot of people who don't know how to receive that.
I hear it.
Don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah. There's no capacity to receive that.
So it's two sides. We as men, we don't practice enough from a young age or to express ourselves, you know, in a way that we can foster a conversation. Yeah. And then on the flip side, those on the receiving end don't know how to receive us. Should we do that?
So on the back of that then, what do you think could be, or do you think there is any kind of like aftercare for men when they do have those moments of like outpouring or those kind of emotional responses? What do you think the aftercare looks like, or do you even think
it's I'm going to say it's non-existent, but I know that's not the case because it happens within.
Can you expand on, first of all, why you think why would you say it's non-existent?
Just look around in society. Just look around at teenagers. All right, let's even go younger. Just look around at babies, little boys when they're growing up, and if they should, quote unquote, show a tantrum. All right, let's move on to teenagers. You see what the majority of teenagers are doing now, males. Yeah. Let's look at young adults, early 20s. A lot of the things that we should learn as men, especially, I don't know, courting, dating, relationships, as young adults, we don't do. It's normally until you're in your mid-30s, then we start unpacking or unlearning a lot of things that we didn't even learn. And they were subconsciously affecting our lives, so family life, work life, friendships. Mid-30s is when we really sit for the most part and realize, I've been doing a lot of things wrong. So now we're at a place where you probably have children or you probably have nieces, nephews, and you really don't know how to communicate with them or just interact with them naturally or in a loving manner. Yeah. Because you're now having to unlearn a lot of the things, bad tendencies. So that's why I say, just look around. We can see.
So I've got two questions from what you've just said there. So the first one is, given that you said, there's a lot of things that you guys as men, you kind of go through almost on autopilot. because you didn't have the education, you didn't have the information through nobody's fault. It's just the kind of way that a lot of, particularly from the African and Caribbean culture, that we didn't have any such thing as emotional intelligence or parents that were kind of like doing gentle parenting or anything like that. So for you, what do you think could be one thing that you wish you could have been taught as a young, maybe let's say like your 18-year-old self, what would be one piece of advice that you would have loved to have had at that age?
It's just conversations. So the reason why I started writing is because I was looking for conversations that I couldn't find. I'm not a big reader. Okay. But I read people. That's me. Like if you're a subject matter expert, I will sit and pick your brain. Because I find that more engaging, more interactive. For me, it's more interesting. If I'm reading a book, I prefer for it to have images. Okay. You understand? So
do you like audiobooks just by any chance?
I'm trying to get into it, but yeah. But yeah, so at 18 years old, I just wish I had more conversations. Right. Particularly from my dad. Not saying that we didn't speak, but conversations on certain things in life. All right, Dad, when you were 18, what were you doing? Yeah. All right, what was your interaction like with your father or your mother at 18? Yeah. So those conversations with my mother are the same. Right. Because I feel it's through the conversations that you start to find things out and ask questions that lead on to other things. So like the emotional and intelligence side. If I'm speaking to my dad at 18 years old and we've stumbled upon a difficult topic, that's training ground for me to deal with those emotions. Absolutely. And vice versa. Yeah. So then I can then take that moving forward when I had my first. You know what I mean? Yeah, so 100%. That's why I would say more conversations and not just surface level conversations, like I said, just especially the difficult ones within families.
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing from you there is that for you, that the kind of advice you would like, it wasn't even advice per se, it's just more open dialogue, between parents and children. And now that you're a dad, do you think that you have learned to have a bit more of that open dialogue, the type of open dialogue that you would have wanted at that time? Do you think that you're in a space where you can create that to almost break that generational pattern? Yes. Are you now in a space where you can do differently? Not to say that they didn't do it right or they did bad, but you know what I'm saying? You would recognize that you didn't have it. Do you feel like now you're in a space where you can produce it for your own children?
It's yes and no. Yes and no in the sense that I try to implement things that I would have looked back at and wish I had. So in that sense, yes, I provide a space where it's open dialogue. The no comes in where I don't know how to do it. So I'm stumbling in the dark. So how do I know that I'm doing it the way it's meant to be done properly? What indicator do I have to go at? What reference points do I have? So there is this element of feeling like I am not sure about it. Right. And even though parenting or anything in life that is new, you will have doubts. Or if you've got no reference point, it's like you're flying blind. You know?
I hear that. So I'm going to kind of challenge you a little bit on that, because I completely understand why people say that. Like I said, if there's no reference point, I'm kind of like making up things out of thin air. Is there a space where you can say, okay, well, when I was younger, this is what I would have liked, and I believe like this is what it could have felt like had I had this. So based on that information, I can attempt to kind of give my children that exact thing that I think that would have helped me at that time. Do you think that could be helpful to kind of think in that way?
Just having a space when I was younger?
So you thinking about, okay, so when I was 18, this is how I would have liked my dad to have interacted with me. This is how I would have liked my dad to have had conversations. I would have liked him to have taught me this. I feel like had I had someone speak to me, I could have gone in this type of direction because I had, do you know what I'm saying? So do you think that from operating from that space, although you didn't have it, knowing that you wanted it and what it could have looked like for you, that could be a space where you can say, okay, I can maybe take that and use that as my source material, so to speak, to then move in that direction?
Yeah. That could be helpful. But the thing, what I'm saying is, it's a theoretical standpoint. Fair. So even though I use it from a theoretical element, the practicality of it, I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know what it will look like or what it could look like, can look like if I apply it, until I apply it.
Right, okay.
And then it either goes left and it goes right. Yeah. And then I'm doing damage control, or I'm like, all right, let me tick the box. Works. I can use that. So one of the things as well that I sort of used growing up, so I came in when I was 17. Okay. So I was heavily involved in church. A lot of things in Jamaica, but predominantly the church. I would go to church a lot and have youth groups and then communicate with, the elders or older people than myself. And I use a lot of that as my reference point.
Right.
In terms of the deepness of the conversation.
Their life
and in
experience.
terms of life experiences, because you're in church, you go to youth clubs and so on and so forth. A lot of the time, certain conversations would be brought up in the youth club that wouldn't necessarily be had at home.
Got you.
But it's not a disconnect. The difference is it's different when you're speaking to friends as opposed to speaking to family on the same subject matter.
I hear that completely.
Because there's a whole different dynamics, you know what I mean? Even though I can use it as an example, there is still a quote-unquote disconnect.
Got you. All right, so I'm going to circle back real quickly because before when we were speaking about, you're saying there's not really much aftercare for men when they have outpourings of emotion or if they have like a particular space of vulnerability.
Yeah.
What do you think that the loved ones of men, so be it a partner or a mother or a girlfriend, whatever, what do you think that we can learn to be more receptive, to actually provide that aftercare for you guys? What would be your specifics that could be done to hold you lot a bit more? Because guys, I mean, let me ask you directly, guys, you guys want to be held at times, a lie?
You mean a hug is always
right?
Nice.
You want to be held. You want to feel like someone's got you. You want to be able to rest up your head on somebody's shoulder and have that little space. So how can we better do that for you lot?
So before I answer the question, I know a lot of men. So it's like how you asked me that question a while ago.
Yeah.
Would you want to be hugged or held at times?
Yeah.
And I know the man them might say, why is man not to say
like
that? But a lot of men wouldn't openly admit to that.
Okay.
Even though it's something that they appreciate.
Yeah.
Or just because sometimes, some days we finish work and a lot of men will relate to this. Just sit in the car.
Really?
We just ends out in the car and we're going to chill because it's either the day that we had was just so much. We need a minute.
Okay, like decompression time.
Yeah, we need a minute for myself to just process what's happening because we are problem solvers.
Ease up the
We are problem solvers predominantly, you know what I mean? So if there's something that is still lagging at the end of the day, we're like, all right, how can I approach this differently tomorrow? And then at the same time, before we reach another house, to deal with whatever is waiting for us. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But before we have to take on that responsibility, let me gather myself. You know what I mean? Now imagine we can replacing that moment with stepping into the house and you're greeted by a nice hug from the person you decide to be with. Yeah. You know what I mean? That can do a lot.
I hope you lot are taking note.
And a lot of people wouldn't necessarily have thought about that or the benefits of that. A lot of people don't even entertain that thought until it happens and they're like, yo, all right, cool. A lot of men who are dating, let's speak about dating.
Yeah.
If they should just pull up at home.
Yeah.
Right? And they've got a nice cooked meal and table set. Just out of the blue.
Yeah.
They might not realize how deep that is subconsciously for them.
The person doing it?
No, the person, both ways.
Okay.
But specifically for the man
receiving it.
Receiving
I got you.
You know what I mean? Because again, it's not something that is, like I say, a continuous or repetitive thing or done enough.
It's not consistent.
It's not consistent enough. So the small things, because we don't want them big enough. No, for real talk. We really don't want the extravagant things.
Men are just simple.
Yeah, we don't really want the extravagant things. We really don't. I'm not saying it would have been nice, but we don't really want the extravagant things. We would rather be the ones doing the extravagant things. But I'm saying that this is small things. Awareness and appreciation is one of for me is very important. Just be or let me know that you are appreciative of my efforts.
Okay.
And if my efforts aren't enough, then be aware enough to identify it and then have the conversation.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's so back to your question, it's just being aware of the fact that if something happens, everybody will come to the house. They will speak to the woman. Yeah. They will speak to the children. And they will say, all right, and you're good.
Yeah. On a one-away, like on a dismissive kind of, not even really taking it on. I hear
and then I have to go away.
Yeah.
And do your own processing. Sometimes it's not even all right, let me be very specific.
Go.
Let me be very specific because some people I want people to fully understand where I'm coming from with this. it's personal to me, and it really struck home a couple of years ago. So in 2022, I've got 2 girls, right?
Yeah. Oh, your dad girl.
Yeah. So the eldest one, she went missing.
You've spoken about this, but share with the
from the poem.
Yeah.
So she went missing, right? Left home Friday, the 17th of June. The 18th of June was the Saturday. It was the first poetry event I planned and put on at Theatre Peckham as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she didn't come on Friday night. I've got the show Saturday. I'm like, all right, am I gonna cancel the show? Am I gonna run with the show? I did the show.
Yeah.
Still not knowing where my daughter was. She came back home the 19th. And I just want to make a point to say we have to believe in ourselves a lot more, because a lot of the times we say we can't do this, we can't do that, but you'd be surprised at how strong you are to do certain things when you're in it. Because if you told me my daughter would go missing and I would still do a whole show, I would say to you, are you mad?
Yeah, absolutely.
Did it. So then she came back home the Sunday. Now, as soon as the show finished Saturday night, you don't know.
Of course.
It was just a madness. I'm on the road, I'm all over, I'm all over because I don't know. Anyway, long story short, she came back home the Sunday, and we give God thanks. Grateful, and we dealt with that. I say by we, I mean her mother.
Yeah.
I still haven't had a conversation with anyone in detail about, all right, so how has this affected?
Are you joking?
So to this day, so big up poetry as well, because I may say,
that's been your
I won't necessarily write on the things I'm going through, but I write because of the things I'm going through. Oof. So may I say, to this day, I haven't had a conversation with no one.
What?
And it's not just me. I'm not saying it's not just me. This is right across the board. Like men go through a lot of things, and because we just get on with it, because that's what we're taught.
Absolutely.
So even if we can't just break down and sit down, and who's gonna come and save us?
Yeah.
That's how we feel. I know that there are people out there who care for us. I know that there are people out there who would literally make space for us.
Sensation.
But sometimes when some things happen, a man shouldn't have to ask. Because you see, because if the same thing had happened to our female counterpart, our children, would you ask them?
Everyone
you just do. So that's why I say I don't feel like there's enough aftercare.
Got you.
Because we feel like, because we're just getting on with life, people just assume that, you know what I'm saying, check up on your strong friends.
Absolutely. And this is why mentality is in existence, because that's exactly it. Because men don't have spaces to come and talk about how they're feeling, what they're going through, the fact that their child has gone missing and they can't speak to somebody. That's blown my mind. Bear in mind that this isn't the first time that it's come to my attention that this has been an experience for you, because obviously you spoke about it at shows, you've written poetry, like you said, indirectly, but it's kind of like based off of this experience. But even when you spoke about it at the show, I don't recall you saying that you haven't spoken to it. Did you say that?
No, you see, and I wanted to add this. So this isn't, so Rayan before poetry, which was really Rayan before RVJ, which is the performance side of my poetry. Because I've always been writing. I've always written, but I didn't know why.
Right.
The Rayan before the poet this isn't something that I would speak about publicly.
Okay.
My daughter being missing. I just feel like it's an in-house thing. That itself is a part of the problem.
Right.
Because if I don't share or make people know how I'm feeling, then how people are meant to help.
How is people going to help you? Absolutely.
You understand? So this isn't something, because again, my family is very, like, we hold our own. We're not boastful, we're not loud, we're not hype, we're not do none of them things. So whatever we have a thing to deal with, we fix
in-house.
things. Yeah, in-house.
Yeah.
But I can't be on stage as a boy saying to the man them, me I encourage them to talk more.
And you're not
more, and I'm not doing it. I'm not really, that's not how I'm built. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to
practice
by example.
And more so for the younger men. Because again, as I alluded to earlier, I feel like at a younger age, if I was exposed to more things, especially on the emotional side, it would have been, I'm not saying raising my daughters hasn't been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah.
But I'm a man with 2 girls. If I was more emotionally in tune and engaged, then I'm pretty sure a lot of things I could have done different.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just from having the knowledge, as opposed to, like I said, stumbling in the dark.
I hear that.
You understand?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's an ongoing conversation. And this is why I'm saying this was not an event, for sure, because it's a daily thing. It's life. And we just have to ensure, say, if you have a voice or a platform or any sort of influence, then we just try and do what we can do whilst we're here. Just to sort of make things a little bit better, or just guide people a little bit better that are coming after you.
I love that. So I wanted to very just quickly touch on, because I know you spoke about using your poetry as a kind of means of almost catharsis, like a means of therapy, because that's another thing that a lot of men don't kind of lean into. They don't lean into talking therapies or, you know, even talking to the mandem. Not even a therapist. Do you know what I mean? Like, not even mandem don't even have conversations with their boys, let alone a therapist. Do you see what I'm saying? And so you've used you've used your poetry as a form of therapy.
Yeah.
And I believe that you did have a piece kind of centered around that. Was that the piece?
The one that I sent you?
Yeah. Was that a little slightly tied in or not particularly?
Not particularly, but yes. Because again, I try to mask my poetry in the sense that initially, I used to try and mask my poetry, but again, that would be hiding. And not speaking and expressing. So I've started to just be a little bit more open.
Yeah.
But this is just, again, it's sort of like a taboo topic because, again, it's not something a lot of people think about, even the ones it happened to. So, yeah, and I like my poetry to explore the conversations that aren't being had. So it's a part of the subject, or the what should I say, the trending topics.
Yes.
But it's a subtopic that is ignored, but it's a part of things. So, am I doing it now?
In a moment.
I'm not ready
yet. I'm not ready yet. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that because I kind of like loops around. So what I wanted to touch on, you said you're a girl dad. So we are gonna get into the poet very quickly because I know that I want to be mindful of time. You said you're a girl dad, and you said that you're obviously, as most dads, because there isn't a manual for parenthood.
Never.
You're leaning into, like, I guess, just learning as you go, as you've already said.
Yeah.
And there's certain things that had you known, you would have done differently. So being a girl dad and with conversations around masculinity and what it is and femininity, do you feel that being a father to girl children, that there's a need for you to tap into that feminine aspect of yourself to be able to connect with them, first of all, to connect to you, but do you believe that there's a need for you to kind of be more aware of what that looks like to be able to connect more deeply with your daughters?
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah, and what could that look like for you?
Because in Jamaica, we have a thing we say, too much of one thing, no good for you. Right. So if you just always depend on the masculine side, you're going to miss out on certain things. Because there are certain elements in life, interactions in life, that does not require the masculine side. 100%. And there are certain elements in life that requires both.
Yes.
You understand? Balance. So, yeah, I had to tap into that. Because again, there are a lot of interactions and conversations I would have with my daughters that needed that element.
Yes.
That needed some time. That sometimes it need the leader.
Yeah. We need more
needed
guidance.
The listener. That sometimes, even though they were in the wrong, needed me not to reprimand or punish. You know what I mean?
Receive.
Just be there. You understand? So, and it was helpful being there when they were young and watching them grow. Yeah. Because then I was mindful of the changes. And I was mindful of what they liked, I didn't like. Yeah. Or what they were sort of on the fence about. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that was a necessary part of my growth and discovery.
As a man and as a dad.
Yeah. That. And again, I could always apply that outside the home. So now, if you look at my entry into poetry, my poems were all about love and relationships. I write about everything, but that's where I was most comfortable. Okay. So then I found on stage, just talking to strangers, that's where I was most comfortable. So I found I had a lot of. Do you know how mad it is to have a black woman come up to you after you've performed and say, "I feel heard"?
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking, why would you think that? Or why would you not feel heard if I'm a black man, you're a black woman?
Yeah. But this is what we're saying.
The first time that happened to me, I was puzzled. It's a beautiful thing, but I was puzzled. And then, so it goes back to what you're saying about just tapping into your femininity. Through those interactions with my daughter, I am able to apply that outside of the womb. Because I just feel like, say, I'm not here to argue and fight. I'm trying to understand the female.
Understand and love and connect. And that's ultimately what the feminine energy does. It brings us together in connection. So I love that your relationship with your daughters allowed you to kind of harness that and bring it outside. I love that. Right. So again, I am kind of mindful of time. But, we can't have big RVJ wordplay here on mentality and not touch into a little bit of the poetry vibes. So, Mr. RVJ, without further ado, drop to the people of the mentality sphere a little ones and twos.
Cool. So this poem is called Same Mom. And again, it came about as a result of just interactions with people. Because my poetry is mainly about life and interactions with people. And there's a question that was always asked whenever I said I've got 2 daughters. Majority of the times, I close to 100% of the time, whenever I say I have 2 daughters, this particular question was asked. So I wrote this poem just to sort of, just package my feelings towards it. And again, just sort of allow people to be aware and engage. So, Same Mom. I've only performed it once, so I'm going to try and do a thing.
Do your thing. He's going to do it. He's going to kill it.
Space. All right, cool. Same Mom. Yes, I've got 2 daughters, is normally my response. Do they have the same mom? The same mom? Same mom? 9.5 times out of 10 is normally the question that follows my response. Does my 2 beautiful angels have the same mom? I normally smile at this question because I know in your mind to ask me this, there's nothing wrong. But each time that question is asked, it chips away at the man that I am. Because you think I'm one that has many. And as a result, I've spread myself thin. So now my many offsprings will be lacking a father. You figure that it is okay to blindly judge me on a narrow-minded view that you've been taught to believe in. That I'm but a silhouette on the horizon when it comes to my children. I'm not here to speak on behalf of another, just myself. But have you ever experienced a taste of a good conversation turning sour in your mouth? Well, as I try to neutralize the sour taste by using words to father ideas in your mind that my children can have the same mom. But was it me who made you ask that question? But how comes? We've only just met, you don't know me, so how comes? Or is it that at this point in the conversation, this is a relevant question? It's an innocent question until asked. No, I'm guilty by association. Just another thing to deal with as a man. Just another thing to deal with as a black man. Just another thing to deal with as a black man who is Jamaican. Just another thing to deal with as a black man who is Jamaican and carries himself well because he is his father's son. Just another thing to deal with as a black man who is Jamaican and carries himself well because he is his father's son and he can hold a decent conversation. The many layers that I am is filled with so much substance. But each layer has a war being waged against it, and I really don't know how it began. This all happened before I was born. Long before I was born. And it doesn't matter how much I add to progression, my efforts are continuously stepped on. Why? Because as a man, I've always held a powerful position. And I use that power to manipulate and force other people's hands. Who? Me. When? I can guarantee you've got the wrong one. I'm not here to speak on behalf of another, just myself. Take a walk in my shoe and you'll see that my step is different. Most of the times that question is asked, it's asked under the wrong circumstance. But hold on, let me address your ill intentions, the subconscious ones. So what if my children had different moms? Can I not love again? Can I not foster an environment because the love I had in my previous relationship sank to the bottom of love's ocean? Can I not find love again and bless that union with a bundle of joy that represents a young one if it's also something that she wants to happen? Most of the time this question is asking on the wrong circumstance. Do they have the same mom? Why does your question attract the faint scent of being judgmental? Why does the hair on the back of your neck stand? Why does your eyes change shape? Why does your eyebrows curl? Why do you have a stiff upper lip? How is that of any relevance to the man who I am when we've only just met and you don't know me? I wrote this poem in an aim to highlight a conversation that for me is of much importance. My aim is to spark conversation between myself or another once we've ended the beauty of this encounter. Like I said, I'm not here to speak on behalf of another because another might not be bothered. But as for me and my house, you might want to wait to be invited in before you assume you can just step in armed with society's idea of this king, handing me their baggage that you've been subconscious to carrying. Do they have the same mom? The same mom? Same mom? No. Let the conversations begin. RVJ.
Jeez, come on.
yeah, look at something like that, you know?
Love that. I absolutely love that. I feel like that the whole concept of that is a whole other conversation.
It definitely is.
That we might have to bring you back for us. If you want RVJ to come back on Mentality, talking about fatherhood and baby mothers and multiple children and men's stereotypes, all of that, yeah, drop comments and let me know. We can bring him back for another situation, because that is a conversation. Absolutely. Right, RVJ, we are coming to the close of our time together today. Unfortunately, of course. Quick fire round before we close out. I just want to ask you very quickly. I'm going to say a quick sentence and you're just going to quick fire at the end. Yeah?
Right, cool.
Okay. Cool. Masculinity is... This is quick fire, RVJ. This
ain't... I wasn't ready. We
got time. Masculinity
again.
Is...
everything and nothing.
Okay. Men need more...
spaces.
One thing I want all people to know as a man is...
that we're always ready to do.
Love for me as a man is...
God, that one the difficult.
Jeez, come on.
Love for me as a man is...
easy for you, my guy.
Love for me as a man is... life. Living life. Yeah.
All right. So before we let you go, RVJ, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, cool.
Right. I appreciate you being here in the mentality space.
Oh, that's cool,
like
man.
we said,
Pleasure.
you know, it's a space for real men, real talk for real growth.
And
just on the note of, you know, men not feeling like they really get seen and heard and all the things, got a little gift for you. So my little assistant is going to...
That's crazy.
You, my darling. Men don't often get given flowers, so we got a little bouquet of flowers for you.
Thank you very much.
Just to, you know, give you your flowers in life, as a poet, as a man who's doing work in the community, as a father, just to show you a little love and be like, man can get flowers as well too.
Yeah, I appreciate this. Someone's going to step through town with my flowers, you know what I mean? That make them know.
Make everybody know, so you get flowers today. All right.
Like this, right. Thank you very much for having me.
You're very welcome.
Thank you very much for the conversation, because if anybody know me, them know, say, yeah, I like a good conversation. You know what I mean? I just feel like you can't beat a good conversation. It goes both ways. So thank you for having me, and yeah, big up yourself.
No, big up you. So guys, that's been Mentality for today. Let's say this has been our episode of Mentality with RVJ. Come back for another episode, more real conversations with real men for real growth. I'm the Civilized Savage, and we'll see you the next time.